Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 27th of May. My name's Philip Kingston.
And I'm Gary Peer.
And Gary, what a relief. Can you imagine the pressure that we were under this week?
Yep.
Given how bad our weekend was the week before.
Now you're going to admit it, are you?
We might come clean on this show.
Okay, yeah.
But tremendous pressure going into this weekend.
Massive.
All four auctioneers were feeling the pressure to perform strongly this weekend. And yes, we did, Gary. Yes, we can. We came through with flying colours with a clearance rate of 19 out of 21, which gave us a clearance rate in excess of 90%.
That's about 91%, Phil. Put up those towers, please.
Against an industry average of around 71%. A little bit higher, but it always gets scaled back, and I'm anticipating the final clearance rate at 71% for the industry. So yes, Gary, we can boast and go on about how great we are. Thankfully, we've had a great weekend. Now, I think it's fair and reasonable that we confess to our clearance rate last week.
Well, I was prepared to, we're going to be transparent, Kingston.
Okay,
yes.
So we did have a clearance rate last weekend of 50%, which was for us. That does reflect Gary and my academic career pretty much, where we were always a good show for a 50% clearance.
That's it.
But we haven't had a 50% clearance rate in a long time.
Well,
it was great that we bounced back.
It's a funny market. I mean, what an amazing weekend. 19 of 21 auctions, some really strong results, and some boomers. So it was amazing. So it's funny. I read the report today in the paper or on the internet. It's not a consistent market necessarily.
No,
it's a good market, but not a consistent market. But over and above anything that's happening in Victoria, in Melbourne, in Caulfield, in St Kilda, in East St Kilda, Elwood, Ormond, McKinnon, it doesn't matter, Phil, because everything's been overshadowed by one big event in real estate, and that is the offering of a home called El Fuedes. And if you want to know what that home is, it is the home of Tony Montana. So say hello to my little listing, because this house is in Montecito, California, not in Florida. But have a look at this house, Phil. Now, this house is on the screen now, you can see it. This was the home that was featured in Scarface, Phil, and it's for sale for $35 million. But the reality is, I don't think the house is actually $35 million. The house is only worth about $5 million, but it's the chattels, Phil, that makes it so valuable, because you've got the drug lab outside, all of the contents. You've got the rocket launchers, the armory, the machinery. You've got a collection of limbs in the basement. So I think it's all the chattels.
Okay, so for our younger viewers, you need to understand that Gary is a bit of a film buff, got a great brain for trivia, which,
is wasted, isn't it?
Is wasted, there's no question. But Scarface with Al Pacino was an all-time classic movie. Bit of a cult movie, really, kind of in the whole pulp fiction genre. Yes. You've got to be a certain age to actually have watched that show and appreciate it. But for the younger viewers, I suggest if you're really hard up, take out Scarface. It is an amazing movie, amazing house.
It crosses the generations. Let's talk about some of the highlights of the weekend, because Phil, it was a big weekend, and we'd be here all day going through all of them. And next week's GPTV is going to be a surprise one, isn't it, Phil?
It is, Gary. We're taking it on the road again next week.
We are, but before we do that and talk about it, let's talk about some of the results from the weekend past.
So Gary, some auction highlights for me started in Crimea Street on Thursday. What some of our viewers might not know is we have somewhat of a specialty in selling blocks of apartments.
We do, we love them.
And we had 1 to 11, that's 11 apartments at number 22A Crimea Street in St Kilda, which is a great address. We were quoting in excess of $3 million, Gary. The price is undisclosed, but we did sell the property for well in excess of that. And that we held on a Thursday afternoon. So I love those midweek auctions. In fact, we've got another block of apartments coming up, which we'll talk about later, which is also this Thursday. So that was an auction highlight for me, and certainly great to get that sold.
Now, 21 auctions, we can't talk about them all, be here all day, and no one will be left watching, just us talking. But there was a good property sale in Warnack Road. Phil, tell us a bit about this one.
Well, we had 3 at 14 Warnack Road in Carnegie, where we were expecting around 700. The reserve on the day was 700. First bid, I called for bidding. Somebody came straight out of the blocks at $680,000. So I knew I was in the home straight from the first bid. On the market at 7, sold competitively with 3 people bidding fairly aggressively all the way to $795,000, which really is testament to the strength of Carnegie.
It is, Phil, even if it was $790, but great result. Well, it's $5,000 between friends. Phil,
how quickly I forget.
While you were pocketing that $5,000 that disappeared, I was in Younger Avenue, Philip, at 14 Younger Avenue, and I might just show up on screen very quickly a little image, because it was reported actually on the Mal James, or the James website, so there's a little image there. Now, I'm going to make you this solemn promise, Philip, that I will never in my life, ever, conduct another auction with sunglasses on, because we've had a heated discussion about this
and
morning.
you did see my email saying to you, great article on the Mal James report.
What's with
but
the beep, beep,
please
beep, beep, beep?
leave those sunglasses off.
Yes, there was...
Viewers, it's not a good look, and correct me if I'm wrong by sending your thoughts into ideas at garypeer.com.au, but auctioneers in sunglasses, I don't know, I think you look a bit shady, pardon the pun.
Well, it's sort of, I think the guy that's going to be selling the house from the Scarface definitely going to be wearing some sunglasses, Philip.
Correct.
He'll probably have an eye patch on as well. But that did sell very well, Philip, and thank you to the James crew for reporting it so positively. It sold for $1,370,000, it was, Phil. And in fact, it was interesting because it sold to someone who just came on the day. So congratulations to those delightful people that bought it, and well done to the vendors. What a beautiful home.
It's amazing, and the viewers might be interested to know that we sell kind of somewhere between 7 and 10% of our properties to people that see it for the first time on the day of the auction,
isn't it?
Which is quite a phenomenal percentage when you think about people making an investment. I mean, that buyer, look, he is an astute real estate buyer and he knows his way around the market. But to arrive on the day, buy something for in excess of $1.3 million off the back of one inspection, either tells you that the buyer is a confident real estate understander.
He is.
If there is such a
guru.
description. Or it just goes to show how, the marketing campaigns are 4 weeks. If buyers are out there in the marketplace, they just might have missed the opportunity of seeing it within the auction campaign window.
The next sale I'd like to talk about, Philip, was in Hotham Street. We sold this one. We'd shot GPTV from there, as we did Younger Street, and that was sold on Sunday morning, Philip. We had an indoor auction, which was wonderful. It was a lovely sunny day, beaming through the apartment, 359 Hotham Street, which sold for $582,500. Congratulations to the vendor and the most delightful buyer. And there were a number of bidders keen for that apartment, and I think it was a beautiful property. Phil, we also have another one here to talk about. That is in Balaclava Road, number 166 Balaclava Road. So Phil, this one, it was one of the longest auctions I've ever done. Reserve was $850, so sold for $932,000. Someone counted the bids, they said it was like 66 or 70 bids, and I actually literally ran with my speaker, the chups and the stand to the car to get to the Canberra Grove auction, which was the next sale.
Well, let's talk about that Canberra auction, Gary, because whilst the price is undisclosed, we did sell it about 18 months ago. Now, if you think about this big family home, rarely do homes get sold like this within such a short period of time. Normally you'd sell a house of that size and magnitude and price, and the buyers would be there for 10, even 20 years.
And in fact, sorry to cut in, but the Balaclava Road, it was the first time it's been sold in 40 years, so well done to those vendors.
So here's a big sale, 18 months, turned around. Now, prices are undisclosed, but we can say to the viewers that it did get sold for about 11% more than it had been transacted for 18 months
sign of
before.
the market.
So essentially, very rare for a buyer to be able to sell within that time frame and actually get their stamp duty back and their selling cost back, and kind of break even or maybe make a small amount of money on the transaction.
Well, good luck to vendor and buyer alike. The buyers, I think, bid on 5 or 6 other properties, so I'm glad that they waited and got the best one, because that is a beautiful home. Phil, so many auctions this weekend, so little time to review them. Let's just whip on through them quickly, can we?
Let's do that, Gary.
Phil, 25 auctions this weekend, including Thursday.
That is a staggering amount,
Gary. It's a
Gary.
beauty, Phil. So you're going to have lots of coffee or whatever it is that's going to pep you up, mister, because you're going to need to have your roller skates on, as I am. Let's talk about them, Phil. Firstly, this block of flats in Daly Street, all on one title, 4 incredibly spacious apartments. It's Thursday, 2 p.m. Looking forward to that one, Phil.
That'll be a beauty.
Saturday morning, Phil, we're starting in Clayton, in Burton Avenue, Clayton. Tell us a little bit about this one. Very affordable, Philip, in the low threes.
First home buyer's opportunity, Gary, or an investment. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space in absolutely beautiful condition, fully renovated throughout.
I love East Brighton, Philip, and at 10:30 a.m. we are going to be in Allura Avenue, Brighton East. Tell us a little about this home.
What a great house, Gary. 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, off-street car parking for 2 cars. Just a move straight into house, not spend a cent.
A very affordable opportunity presents at 10:30 a.m. on Saturday, Philip, in Grosvenor Street, St Kilda East, through our St Kilda office. Tell us about this one.
Gary, I love that position. Walking distance to all the cafes and public transport. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2 car parks, 2-storey townhouse. That is as good as it gets.
11:30, Philip, on Saturday in the morning, we've got the most wonderful home in Umarella Road in South Caulfield. This is a real beauty. Adam and Darren are involved in the sale of this. You'll be auctioning it. Tell us a bit about it.
Gary, we've had great interest in this house, and if anybody wants to see an auction that we think is going to be pretty fast-paced and exciting, come along to that one. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, off-street car parking for 3 cars, and just a turnkey solution house. Move straight in on settlement day and not have to spend a cent.
Saturday, 11:30am, Leon Gusenfitter represents the vendor of 7A Gilbert Grove, Carnegie, a townhouse in that kind of, in and around that 800 plus mark.
Gary, great street presence, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 2 car parks. That is just magnificent.
Very cool property, 12:30 Saturday, 8235 Dandenong Road, Windsor. Phil, tell us about this.
2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1 car space, a 2-storey town residence, walking distance to the best of Melbourne's attractions.
The flowers are blooming in Flower Street, Caulfield South, Philip, 2 at 20, Saturday, 12:30.
They're not paying you for your humour, Gary. 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms, a garage for 1 car. That is just a great entry into the marketplace.
Philip, on Saturday at 12:30, there is a property in Lansdowne Road, a great location. Now, this is going to be a very affordable opportunity. I love this block. It's got a kind of Art Deco feel about it.
It does. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, off-street car parking for 1 car. Lansdowne Road is one of my favourite addresses because you can walk to just about everything. Dandenong Road's on your doorstep, as is the Alma Village. Great location.
Many have said that you're off the planet, Philip, and you're going to be in Saturn Street on Saturday.
You're getting worse. Number 32 Saturn Street, Caulfield South. Now, that is a big house. I've done a virtual tour of that home, so viewers, click on that house, have a look at the virtual tour. 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, double lock-up garage. That is a relatively new house. You can move straight in and get ready for summer. Summer by the pool.
Philip, Saturday at 1:30, we have got Buckley's. Not Buckley's and none of selling it, because we're going to sell it, Philip. Buckley Street, Carnegie. Check out this home. What a great location. What a great looking period home.
Gary, picture postcard, perfect facade. 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, off-street car parking. That is just a gorgeous home in a very popular location.
I love that development in Wando Grove. Phil, we've got an auction at 1:30pm Saturday. Tell us about it.
Well, Gary, we were responsible for selling off this project individually a number of years ago. Beautifully designed by Amnon Weber and quality built. 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, off-street car parking for 2 cars. Once again, a fantastic location near our office.
Philip, I've been to this property and shopped the St Kilda Report with Jeremy Rosens in Meredith Street, Elwood. It's one of my favourite streets, a beautiful tree-lined avenue right near the beach. And this one comes up on Saturday at 2:30pm, if not sold prior, and it may well be.
Well, I believe the team are working on a pre-auction sale at the moment, so that may or may not happen. But 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, and a garage, and that obviously is in the heart of Elwood and one of the best suburbs, not just in Melbourne, Gary, but on the planet.
Now, there's not much about Yarraville that we don't know, is there, Philip? Maybe a little. But Jazz Stevens knows it very well, and that's why we are working in conjunction. We're bringing our talents and skills together with the expertise, the local expertise of Jazz Stevens.
And a bit of a shout out to Craig Stevens, who is a terrific guy.
He's a good guy,
and is running an agency very similar to ours, high market share, boutique feel, and we're working in conjunction with them. Yep. So I'll be going out to Yarraville. Thank goodness I've got sat nav in the car, so I'm sure I'll find my way in time there for the auction.
You'll be doing the conjunctional auction there at 2:30pm to bring down the curtain on Saturday, Philip. Good to work with Jazz Stevens, although I wouldn't have minded working on Julia Gillard's house together with them because they sold her house recently.
They did.
That is Saturday, Phil. Let's get into Sunday because it's going to be a manic, crazy day with plenty happening. We are starting off at 3 at 420 Dandenong Road, Caulfield North. Tell us about it, Phil.
Well, Gary, that is a tremendous villa home, 2 or 3 bedrooms, one bathroom and off-street car parking via carport for 2 cars. That's a great house, been beautifully done inside.
I know you're very familiar with this property, Philip. 1 at 68 Hawthorne Road in Caulfield North. Great location. Tell us a bit about this one. Been very interesting in terms of response. Popular, Phil.
Gary, a bit of a shout out to one of the owners there who is about to celebrate his 90th birthday. Max, if you're watching in anticipation of your 90th, very happy birthday. I hope to bring you an early birthday present by having a great auction for you. That is a beautiful home of which he and his wife have lived in for many years, opposite the park, in immaculate condition throughout. A really gorgeous villa home.
Sunday at 10:30, Philip, while you're there, I'm just up the road in Sycamore Street selling this showcase property. What a beautiful looking home this is, Phil. Caulfield South. You've
got to love that facade, Gary, and walking distance to the tram and cafe in Hawthorne Road. Really good position, Sycamore, and that's 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms, car parking for 2, polished timber floorboards, gleaming bathrooms and kitchens. Say no more.
If I'm not mistaken, Phil, you're going to be conducting the auction here at 42 Norwood Road, Caulfield North. Tell us about this showcase, beautiful, magnificent property, Phil.
Well, Gary, this is the house with everything. 3.5 bedrooms, or call it 4 bedrooms if we incorporate the study as a bedroom, 2.5 bathrooms, carport for 2 cars, gorgeous swimming pool. This house has been renovated really from the front fence to the back fence and everything in between. But a special mention to the street. I love this street because we're really 4 suburbs for the price of 1, Gary. We're Caulfield North address, but across the road, Armidale, also across the road diagonally is East Paran, and then going down Norwood, crossing Orrong Road, we're in East St Kilda, so you couldn't get a better address.
Phil, I can't be here with you because I'm going to be in Omar Street in Caulfield South doing an auction there at number 34, which actually I know. I've been to that house. Some friends of mine owned it many years ago and we're very happy there, so I know this home well. Tell us a little bit about it.
Gary, that's a corner block and it can be bought for the house or it could be bought for its land content. We've had a couple of people thinking about building a new house there. Personally, I think it's a great house to move straight into or maybe do a renovation. Great floor plan and lovely location.
12:30, Philip, 1 at 299 Hawthorn Road, Caulfield goes off. Tell us a little bit about this one, please.
Well, Gary, if you're looking for something with fabulous accommodation, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, lock-up garage for 2 cars, you don't need to spend a cent there, just move straight in because it's immaculate and in as new condition.
12:30, Philip, we're in Redan Road, a great address just near the park off Balaclava Road, Philip. 2 at 19 Redan Road, Caulfield North. Tell us a little about this home, please.
Gary, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a lock-up garage for 2 cars. I love the position there because you've got the tram and Balaclava Road on your doorstep, Caulfield Park. You can walk to the Caulfield Railway Station. You've got Malvern across the road, and you will be walking distance to the new huge development that's going to take place at the Caulfield Racecourse, which at some point we should do a story about on GPTV.
Why not? 1:30, Phil, we are going to be in Mimosa Road, Carnegie. We're back in Carnegie. We're loving it there. Tell us
We're doing
about
a lot
this.
in Carnegie, Gary. This is 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, car parking for 2 cars, immaculate condition and a great location, Mimosa Road.
Darren Krongold doesn't sell a lot of apartments, Philip, but when he does, he makes sure that they're good ones, and this one in Glenira Road comes under that category. Got the most wonderful view over Caulfield Grammar. Phil, tell us about this terrific apartment.
Well, it's light-filled, floor-to-ceiling glass windows, great location, 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom and 1 car space. And yes, you really just look out these picture windows across the oval of Caulfield Grammar. So if you want to watch the footy, just pull up a chair on the balcony,
Get rid of your Foxtel, Phil.
grab yourself a drink and just watch the young guys kick the football around.
3:30, Philip, we're off in Alexander Street, number 19, a great block of land, a great location. Tell us a bit about this.
Well, it's actually not a block of land, Gary. It's a tennis court. So we're selling a tennis court without a house. It's got a cabana at the back. Alexandra Street, obviously, if you want to build your dream home or subject to council approval, perhaps a development, that's a great location because you've got Carlisle Street just round the corner.
So someone's just going to buy up a tennis court and just go there and play tennis?
Well, it is possible that they do that.
Is that right? Is that
There is nothing to prevent somebody from buying this as a tennis court and using it as a tennis court.
And that's how you're going to market it, is it?
No,
it's not a block of land.
We're marketing it as a fantastic block of land, but it is a tennis court.
So it is a block of land.
It's a tennis court.
Okay, let's move on. We have got one more auction left, Philip, in Sidwell Avenue in East St Kilda. This is the most magnificent. I remember these were built, and these are the most beautiful townhouses. Tell us a little bit about this one.
Yes, Gary, built and designed under the artistic hand of Mark Kersner, and he is a tremendous designer and developer, and this one stood the test of times. 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, lock-up garage for 1, but a car space in front of the garage. I love this property. It's a bit of a local landmark.
It is a local landmark. A little bit of a twilight auction, Phil, which will also be a bit of a landmark because you'll be there as the sun starts setting if you go too long anyway. But that's on 4:30 on Sunday. It's going to finish off a very, very big weekend, Phil. And I think after that we're going to have a little bit of a break because it's a long weekend. I'm not even sure if there'll be a GPTV the week after that. But there will be next week, Philip, because you are going to be with the Wolf. The Pussycat of Orrong Road joins the Wolf of Wall Street next week. So look out for that and we'll tell you more about it when we just come to you from the Gold Coast.
As we've mentioned, the Wolf of Wall Street, I will be seeing him up on the Gold Coast.
Yes.
And I just want to say to the viewers, I saw the Wolf of Wall Street, and I'm not his greatest fan, and I think that movie has really
polarised people.
Well, it's polarised people, and it's turned something that was really about greed and corruption into something that's had a bit of the Hollywood makeover where some people have walked away thinking, there's something in it that is to be celebrated. I personally think that it shouldn't be celebrated, but he is talking up there, which I'm not a great I don't believe it should have happened, but as he's on, I'm going to go and listen to him.
Well, he's going amongst other speakers, Philip, and there are some knockout speakers that are going to be there at AREC, the Australian Real Estate Conference, and I have also read the comments of Enzo Raimondo, who is not fond of the selection of the Wolf of Wall Street being there to promote, I guess, ethics or business principles, because let's face it, a bit controversial. But on the other side, you've got Adam Joske, a gleaming example of fine ethics.
And what to do right in real estate.
That's right, so he'll be also talking.
He's a speaker up at AREC, which is a big thrill for him.
Well
Congratulations, Adam.
Congratulations, Adam. You'll have a wonderful time there, observing Adam, listening to the Wolf, and hopefully not living the Wolf's lifestyle from the way back when, even though it was pretty wild. I am Gary Peer. This is GPTV. It's been an action-packed edition with the Wolf, with Tony Montana, with auction results, clearance rates. Does it get any bigger than right at the moment?
I'd just like to say, what a ridiculous sign-off. I am Gary Peer. Well, what, we don't know you're Gary Peer.
Well, I was going to sign off, and then I got in a roll.
Thank you very much for watching GPTV. I'm Philip Kingston.
We don't know that.
Look forward to seeing you next week.
Bye now.